This podcast not brought to you by Renewable Gas. So if you've heard an ad from them, we actively disendorse.
Renewable gas isn't a thing, is it?
Nah, it's not a thing. Thanks for the cash. Welcome back to the Punters podcast, the show for Aussie punters who know something's not right, but can't quite put their finger on what. I'm Punter Conrad.
I'm Punter James, and each week we dig into the stuff that politicians hope you don't notice.
Punter James, give us a chuffed Punters Politics lobbyist fundraising update over there.
Man, I've got to start doing my homework already. Here we go. We are up to $47,019.
They're like just over 20 grand shy.
Yeah. We are, the punters are doing an amazing job now.
Donor, who's the number one anonymous donor for this week?
Well, I think I'm going to combine two things here. We might have our first corporate sponsor for the Punters Politics lobbyist gala dinner.
Yeah.
This one comes in, $50 from Funky Pies, Delicious Veg Pies. I'll shout you guys if you're ever in Bondi.
Let's reach out to Funky Pies and see if they want to sponsor the event.
I'm thinking so.
They've already got a plug on the pod.
Also, maybe something coming up a little bit later, we might be talking to someone who also is from around the Bondi area.
Great segue, Punter James. Coming up in this episode, we will be having independent politician MP Allegra Spender entering the Punt Tank. They've been at it again. This one comes in from Punter Jason. He's emailed in at wepunter@punterspolitics.com.
Okay.
Now, Punter James, there's a few levels of respect here. Normally, punters have been sneakily putting these stickers on public property, which we don't openly endorse.
No, they may have just seen them there.
Yeah, and at best we tacitly approve. We don't endorse.
Sure, I know what tacitly means.
Google it. Well, Punter Jason has placed his Why So Small Norway's Royalties versus Australia's Royalties sticker on the back of a pretty new looking but well used, meaning there's a bit of dirt on it, so well used,
Okay.
Ford Ranger.
Ooh.
Mate, he stuck it on the window there, on the back, and he's blocked off a good third of his rear window visibility. He sacrificed that to share the news with every punter behind him that, we Aussie punters are giving our gas away for free and we're getting scammed.
If you've got a canopy over the tray of your ute, funnily enough, like I do, it's already quite hard to see out the back. So
because you got the double window.
Yeah, that's right. So even more so, sticking that on shows dedication above safety.
He sacrificed 50% of his rear visibility.
Yeah.
Safety second, punters first. Cheers, Punter Jason.
Punter Jason, there will be a Punters Politics prize pack consisting of, Conrad?
One replacement punter sticker.
We'll send it right out.
Cheers, punt. Hear ye, Punter James. It's me, Lord Governor, head punt of the Punter Times.
Did someone call you that? It's me.
It's me. This is where me as Lord Governor of the Punter Times finds a boring but important news headline. Now, the headline is too boring and everyone's tuned out. I'm going to rework it, put the Punter Times magic on it, make it a little bit more interesting for everyday punters like yourself, James.
Okay, what have you got for us as the boring headline today?
The boring headline comes in from a publication I frequent, The Conversation.
Oh.
These are articles written by academics. Oh, sorry, snooze fest, but great information.
Okay.
And here's a headline, which, a little bit dull. Governments are becoming increasingly secretive. Here's how they can be made to be more transparent. Like which government?
Boring.
Like transparency.
I don't even like that they've called out that they're becoming increasingly. Just say they're not transparent.
Doesn't sound urgent, does it?
No, it's
I'm not paying attention until this shit's real bad.
It's not clickbaity at all. These academics need a lesson in social media.
Wet those pencil tips.
He's cracked himself up. Fantastic.
Here's my headline for the Punter Times.
Okay.
Albanese government breaks record for telling punters to get f***ed when asked what they're up to.
Okay, that definitely gets me going. Number one, you've named who's responsible.
Yeah, we name names on this show.
Rather than just saying governments in general, you're calling someone out, which I think people really, really like.
Yeah, we like that.
Can you give us more information?
Yep. Remember how Albo said he wanted more transparency? He thinks the government needs to be trusted, et cetera,
when he was trying to get elected?
Blah, blah. We love transparency government. Well, it turns out I've got, let me outline this scam for the punters who are already interested because of that headline. Albanese government has the lowest compliance rate with Senate document orders since 2016 and the second worst since 1993. Sounds a little bit boring, but essentially the Senate will say to the House where Albo is, be like, yo, show us those documents. I need to prove, I need to check your homework.
Yep.
And Albo's essentially being like, yeah, nah, to those documents.
Yeah.
He also gets worse. So ScoMo, not known for his transparency, as we know, he secretly became the minister for 5 portfolios that not even the ministers who had those portfolios knew that he was signed on for it.
That was all during COVID, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Talk about dodgy dealings. Well, Albo's outdone him. ScoMo was filing about 1 secrecy claim every 3 weeks. Albo's doing it once a week. Right. Kind of saying, nah, this stuff's too secret for anyone to see.
Yeah.
Albo's first term, 142 secrecy claims. ScoMo, only 47. Ooh. So this is like, he is destroying records here.
So how does that work? Can Albanese just on some documents put a secrecy clause on it and then just no one even through an FOI can request it?
So governments do things. We need to check their homework. And there's lots of different ways that we can do that. One of those is the Senate requesting documents. Another one is, as you mentioned, freedom of information, where any regular punter can file one of these things and say, hey, can I see the documents that you guys made the decision on?
Yep. Going back, if people want to hear more about that, Rex Patrick episode, that was a fantastic episode. He was the FOI king.
Yeah, he annoys the government and says, tell me heaps of stuff. And they keep saying, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
So under this government, freedom of information requests granted in full, so just being like, yep, you can have that data, dropped from 59% in 2011 down to 25%.
Oof.
He's cut that in half. And outright rejections saying, nah, piss off, have doubled. So Albo across the board is doing some dodgy things and using NDAs when he consults with different, that's come out as well, whereas if he's consulting with an industry, he'll say, oh, we'll get your advice on things and talk to you, but we're going to make you sign an NDA.
Yes.
Which hasn't been used often before. So essentially, he's using all these political maneuvers to hide what they're doing. Now, it doesn't mean they're doing dodgy things. It can often mean they're just trying to avoid difficult conversations, trying to save the public from things. Often, it's trying to not be embarrassed when they make mistakes. They don't want to be called out on the mistakes, and we find their mistakes when we check their bloody homework.
Yeah, see, I thought they would at least be smart enough, and I'm sure they've done this before, to not have the government get a company to sign an NDA. Surely the government gets a consultancy company to do their consultancy work for them, and the consultancy company gets the stakeholders or whoever it is to sign the NDA. That's the way I thought it would have been. So they're removed, right?
Yeah. They like to, and they do like to use consultancies like that as well. So the political maneuvers they use when you're saying, like, how are they allowed to continue to do this? Like, if they work for us, we should be able to see it. Well, they've got the political maneuvers it's the classic national security.
Yeah. Oh, it's in no one's interest to see any of this.
It's too sensitive, and they use it for things where you're like, what? That? Really?
Yeah.
Like, really? ScoMo was a master of it when he was talking about, we don't talk about on-water matters, about border protection and stopping the boats and stuff.
Really?
And they sound official. We don't talk about on-water matters. No, you just don't want to talk about your human rights abuses and the people dying at sea.
Right. Happy to say stop the boats, but we don't talk about water matters.
We don't talk about that. And then, obviously, using the NDA, they often say, oh, it's urgent. We got to get it through real quick. Oh, we can't do it. And then my favorite one is they say they need to protect the privacy of contractual agreements between businesses. This is what they said when they wanted to see the deal that the Northern Territory government did with Tamboran Resources.
Yes, the old, this is just very businessy, but the commercial in confidence.
That's the jargon.
That's the corporate buzzword for it. Yeah.
And they pretend like, oh, well, if they knew the deals, it would hurt our ability to negotiate.
Yes.
But then when we look at those deals, we're like, hang on, was anyone else involved in this tender?
Yeah.
And didn't you used to work for the government?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute here.
So, lots of dodgy tactics getting used. Secret government. Why does this matter to the punters?
Well,
an everyday punt like me.
Everyday punters, this is the stuff we need to pay attention to because trust in politics is getting lower and lower and lower. And this is exactly why. When a government says they'll do something as important as more transparency, means they're going to rebuild trust in government. So when the government says they're going to do something and do something well and do something for the benefit of us, we can believe them.
Yeah.
When a government lies about that, that's the big relationship red flag, Punter James.
Yeah, that's
and something to keep in mind when elections roll around.
Yeah, they would not be getting a rose from me.
Yeah, and when governments hide this stuff, it often means they're not working for us.
Yeah.
They're working for somebody else.
Yeah, which is why we need our own lobbyist.
It's definitely why we need our own lobbyist. Great idea, Punter James.
I'm an ideas man.
Punter James, this is the brand new segment called Punt Tank. This is the segment where we get our Aussie politicians to go head-to-head with regular everyday punters we've plucked straight from our DMs.
Look, I'm a big fan of Shark Tank back in the day.
Yeah,
I'm assuming this is the same. Yeah,
this is way better. These politicians have 60 seconds to pitch their latest and greatest ideas.
Have you got a politician for us?
We've got a lot of politicians lined up in the green room.
Yeah,
the
right.
virtual green room. Now, will the everyday punters that we've pulled up, will they punt? Or will they pass on the politician's idea?
Okay, so they're investing or they're not investing.
Yeah, they're punting or passing.
Are we punting
and we
or
invest
passing?
with a vote in our
It used
democracy.
to be, I'll invest with an offer, or it used to be, I'm out.
Yeah.
So we're punting or we're passing.
Exactly. And bonus points to our punters if you can spot any political maneuvers. Right, we've got to be careful in this political space.
There's going to be some.
For copyright reasons, the theme music will be me reenacting the Shark Tank theme music. So it'll sound better in post, but it's dun 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 dun. Next up into the Punt Tank, Independent MP Allegra Spender with a bold new plan to fix Australia's tax problem. Allegra.
Thank you so much for having me. So my idea is to reduce taxes on income, particularly wage income, and pay for that by reducing some of the tax concessions on capital, on sort of assets, particularly reducing the discount for capital gains tax gains. So let me explain why I think this is important. When people are trying to build up wealth, when they are working hard, they often have big HECS decks, they're often renting, they're often struggling to get into a home, they have hikes of childcare costs early on, particularly when, you don't have a lot of money, you're really starting out. But that's when our tax system taxes you the most, because that's when our income tax system really kicks in. When you've got wealth, when you've built some comfort over time, and all credit to you for doing that, that's when our tax system is taxing you relatively less, particularly because if some of the wealth that you're gaining is through capital gains, through assets getting more expensive, that we give them big discount of around 50%. So I'm saying reduce that discount from 50%. And use that to pay for reductions in income taxes so it can help people when they really need it and don't have the wealth, so they can build the wealth and, feel more comfortable over time.
Excellent pitch, politician Allegra Spender.
I can be a punter too.
Well, it's true. While elected, not punter though. But when you retire, yes, unless you become a lobbyist. Let's turn now to see what the everyday punter is thinking and any questions they might have. Punter Tony.
Hey, this is Punter Tony. I'm in Queensland today, but work the New South Wales coast. I'm a maritime engineer, and I really want to get a lobbyist on board. Allegra, thank you for that informative spiel. Looking at it, having been a veteran of many, many elections, promises are made. I understand the logic in what you're doing, taking from one, giving to the other. That makes sense. But really, how are you going to ensure that that's going to get into the House so it can be voted on? How are you going to get the numbers to make sure that your policy gets through? And would you consider using a punter politics lobbyist?
So how I think the best way to get change is actually for Australian people to care about something and to get that known to the politicians that represent them. I've been trying to do that by talking to lots of people in my area and getting their voices heard and really amplified. And so my pitch and my ask actually to all the punters out there is, if you like this idea, write to your politician and tell them that it's important. What I have been doing to date is actually working across the parliament, trying to build energy around this. I've been pushing the Treasurer to say, hey, you got to deal with the fact that this is hard for younger people to build up wealth. He's now started to put this on the agenda. Now my job is every single day in politics is to hold him to account and make sure he does it and try and get that across the parliament as well. Not easy, but really important.
Punter Brian.
G'day, Punter Brian here. I live in Brisbane and I'm a electrician just down the southeast here. Thanks, Allegra. How are you going to push through these changes knowing that you're going to pretty well upset a lot of powerful property investors and also a lot of politicians that have so much stake in this game already?
Look, I think how do you push it through is partly it's why you've got to balance it out, because I think it is about not just saying, oh, let's put up taxes, which I think does, piss a lot of people off, particularly if you think the money's not being spent well. What it is trying to say, let's balance the system. So if you're earning your money through your wages, which any Australian, can hopefully do, then, we're making it easier for you. And if you've earned your money in your wages and you've got, these other opportunities, well, let's rebalance that, but you can still, maybe you get it back a bit on your wages too. So I think it's really important that it's, it's not trying to increase taxes, it's trying to rebalance it. But again, I think it's actually going to be about listening to younger people and for their voices to be heard, or for not just younger people who don't yet have that capital. That means that they can get ahead. And we do know the system isn't working. We just need to kind of get, I think, the energy around that to say, and be brave enough to say the system's not working, let's do something about it. And again, I just call on all the punters out there to help on this, because that is the way that things change. It is really through powerful punters, you guys in the community, that will make the difference.
Calling on the punters to do some heavy lifting. Punter James.
Now, this question might be my situation or someone else's, but as a wealthy homeowner or maybe mortgage holder.
Good for you. Good for you.
Does this mean I'm going to need to pay more tax when I choose to downsize, let's say, a 6-bedroom mansion into a 3-bedroom penthouse?
In Bondi.
In Bondi, let's say.
So this is not about people's family homes. Like, I think this is about their wealth outside of the family home. I think that is pretty important, because I think that is a really difficult issue for a lot of people. So if that's your family home, you're downsizing from 6 to 3 bedrooms, don't worry, you'll be all right. If it's your investment property, it means that you will pay more tax on that. But hey, go out there and you can do some wage earning too, to get the benefit of, obviously your ingenuity to allow you to get to that situation.
So it sounds like the idea on the table before our 3 everyday regular punters, as they consider the punt test, is the tax system rigged against them with wages? And is a potential looking at the capital gains tax discount, some lucrative discounts to some pretty well-off rich punts, is it worth rebalancing the books according to Allegra Spender? Let's go to Punter Tony. Punter Tony, do you punt or do you pass?
I'm with you, Allegra. I'll take the punt. I'll take the punt there.
Oh, we've got a punt.
Thank you, Tony.
Punter Brian, do you punt or do you pass?
Yeah, I think I punt. I am a little hesitant to see how the politicians would want to take the money out of their pocket and give it to us. But yeah, if you can keep pushing it through, I don't see why not.
So much. Thanks, Brian.
And finally, Punter James, do you punt or do you pass as clear a rich, wealthy property investor that you're representing clearly?
Well, for me on this one, I might pass.
Ooh.
Simply because maybe as a wealthy homeowner, I do have a couple of investment properties and I want to get the most out of the CGT as possible. I would also like to call out a political maneuver.
All right, here we go.
I very much enjoyed, and this is one that I enjoyed because it made it clear for everyone. So well played, politician Allegra Spender.
First off, well played, respect the game.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Don't hate the game. So I would like to call out the political maneuver of being on the defensive, or at least the scope creep. What happened before you? Essentially, when I asked my question, you said this isn't about the family home, which was, again, my question was all about scope creep and how far is this thing going to go? And you brought it back to that's not in scope. The family home is not in scope. That's not happening.
Focus shift.
Exactly. Focus
You know
shift
what
to
that was?
investment properties. But as a...
That was putting out, that's what, I see it happening, that's politicians putting out preemptive fires.
It is.
Going,
it is.
or people are going to hear this.
Yep.
Is that a fair assessment on that maneuver there, Allegra?
Yeah, well, you did tell me about your home and I could see the concern there. So that was, preemptive fire putting out there.
Well played.
Brilliant. Well played. Love it.
Well played.
I'm passing on this one so I can get the most out of the CGT
James,
as possible.
think of the country, punter. Honestly, it's you, but you
Think
are
of
a
the country.
punter who represents other punters out there too.
He's busy looking at those returns on those investment properties, Allegra. Punter Brian, Punter Tony, did you recognise any political manoeuvres we need to address, or we're good?
I think she avoided the use of the offer of that great resource of the lobbyist.
Yes!
And I
Selective hearing!
you make a opinion if you perhaps consider that, Allegra.
I have great admiration for Punter and Punter's politics, and he has grilled me before. So, my hope is, maybe if I turn him into a lobbyist, he won't grill me anymore. That would be a shame. So, we'll just have to see about that, because you do need people out there who are going to grill you. So, I don't want him really on my books on that matter.
Sounds like a polite no on the books there. Let me just follow this up for personal gain. The very organised punter Melissa, who helps me organise this stuff, and the Punters Politics Political Fundraising Gala, brought to you by Sponsor Pending. We are waiting to hear back on whether politician Allegra Spender will be attending on November 4 at the QT Hotel in Canberra on a sitting week.
Okay. If it's a sitting week, I would love to be there. I do have to check my diary. This is not a hard
Diary check.
But I will.
You have no idea how many clashes.
Because I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to front up. I think it's really good. I think it's a great idea that you get ideas in front of people. And it actually helps me, because I am trying to get ideas that people can actually do want in the community, but also can add up and is something that I can actually push through the parliament. So you are actually doing me a favour, Punter, in organising that sort of in organising this.
Nice.
Well, see, now that is the kind of flattery that I encountered when I went to the ball.
Oh, the big gala.
What I discovered was politicians and the corporates there, they are so good at just buttering me up. You know what, Allegra? Great. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for the compliments. I'll take it. Thank you so much for being a good sport and joining and diving into the Punt Tank and having a chat with just us regular punters. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
And another thank you goes out to Punter Tony and Punter Brian. Thanks for joining us on the Punters Politics podcast.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Punter James, out of 10, what would you score politician Allegra
Ooh,
on the Punt Tank pitch?
I'd go for an 8.
Oh, generous. I'd go with 6.8.
Yeah, but you're a
all I would have said is...
Justify your 6.8. That's what I should have said.
Yeah, thanks. Now we're just abusing each other on the podcast.
That's right.
We'll bleep it all so no one really knows what we've called each other.
Fair enough. He's a nice guy.
What I would say, like politicians, I like to see politicians like what Allegra's doing, going into bat for an unpopular thing. Talking about tax is unpopular. So respect for entering the Punt Tank and stepping up to go capital gains tax discount. That's going to get a lot of pushback. And you could see her putting out fires. Here would be my advice to politician Allegra. When you're pitching the capital gains tax discount, I think you have to pitch it around reminding people why their property went up in value in the first place. So I would personally remind people saying, hey, you know how you had enough money to buy those 3 properties and they went up in value. Why? Because you did something? Nah, you didn't actually do anything to the property. You might have renovated it, but let's say you didn't. You just bought it. Then the taxpayer pays for the new roads. They pay to build new schools. They pay to clean up the area. They pay for a new shopping centre goes in. That zoning has kind of gone in. Entrepreneurs come in. They start new shops. All of that value created in that community, the value of the community goes up because everyone collectively put into that. And here's a few, in the extreme example, the rich punt, they're collecting a lot of that upside. And then they want to turn around and say, I don't even want to pay 25% on that when punt's earning a wage, 35%, 40%. That would be my approach. What is that a bit of a compelling explanation?
Yeah, I would consider that justified. It's people who are already in a position of privilege to be able to buy an investment home.
Yeah.
And chances are those people already have a place to live.
Yeah.
So they've already got their family home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hearing you.
So, I mean, that's free. Allegra, you can use that. Cheers. Punter James, you look a little sad.
Really?
Pep up the punts, yeah, we're bringing the fun. The bright lights, big vibes, only begun. Pep up the punts, it's a touchdown blast. Hold on tight, the thrill's gonna last.
Punter James,
I like how Americanized it is.
it's time to pep up some punts.
Throw me that touchdown pass, apparently.
Touchdown, we should change that.
Yeah.
It's time to pep up the punts. Ready to feel pepped? There is some good news rolling in the Punterverse. Qantas has been hit with a record $90 million fine.
Oh, 90 million isn't a small amount.
That's a big number.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
as big as it could be, but a big number. Do you remember what this could be for?
Yeah, they illegally sacked a lot of workers and brought in contractors, I thought.
Nearly
over,
2,000 ground
wasn't
workers
it
sacked.
over COVID as well?
Yes.
So it was
And the
just
government
an
gave them
unempathetic
money.
move.
Yeah, the government gave them money to not sack these people, and then Qantas go, yeah, we'll bank the profits and piss off.
Yep, sounds about right.
So yeah, they outsourced the jobs. It went to court. Like, this is 5 years later. Slow moving, but good to see justice moves at all. Federal Court Justice Michael Lee hammered them, mate. $90 million penalty plus $120 million compensation ordered for the workers. So pay these guys.
Right.
Qantas was arguing they didn't need to pay the compensation.
Oh, of course they didn't.
What kind of jerk in court? Like, these lawyers, I mean, once again, if you want a job as a punter's lobbyist, we'll take you.
Yeah.
But oh my
soulless.
gosh.
Absolutely soulless.
Literally, your job is to like go in for corporate shill Qantas and be like, no. Like, I know these people, this was their income and they lost it, but we're posting record profits and we need to keep this $120 million. So $50 million of the penalty that is given them goes to the Transport Workers Union.
Okay.
I loved reading this. The judge said Qantas showed the wrong kind of sorry.
There are a lot of different kinds of sorry, mate.
So if you want to know, yeah, which kind? What other kinds are out there?
Sorry, mate.
That's the wrong kind, Punter James.
Yeah, you can't just do a sorry, mate, can you?
Yeah, no.
It has to be a heartfelt apology,
You have to mean it. Like, hey, I recognize I stiffed you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I'm sorry, what for?
Yeah, that's
Do you reckon the judge is sitting there, I'm sorry? Yeah, but what for?
Yeah.
And then they showed the wrong kind of sorry. He notes, savvy judges, good to see there's smart judges in there, they were more worried about their reputation than the workers they screwed.
Yeah.
So I guess that is the wrong kind of sorry. We're sorry to our shareholders. Wrong kind of sorry.
Yeah, agreed.
The judge says to deprive someone of work illegally is to deprive someone of an aspect of their human dignity.
Well,
so
yeah,
judge hammered.
It takes away someone's purpose, right? Like, it's not good at all.
Yeah, and so the judge says the fine was designed to be a real deterrent.
Oh, to other employers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. Now I don't want to be ungrateful.
You're sounding a little ungrateful, Punter James.
But can we put the size of this fine in perspective?
Now, remember, we're trying to pep up the punts here, but
Look,
I'll allow it.
For once, I've done a little bit of homework here. Qantas just posted a $1.6 billion profit for this financial year.
That's a big bloody profit, eh?
That's all just profit. So
people forget how many more billions is to millions.
Oh, yeah.
Right? 90
a million
million
is 1,000 millions to a billion.
Yes. So we're at the bottom end of the 1,000 millions, 90 million of them.
Yeah.
And they're at 1.6 billion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So their profit went up 28% from last year.
Look at you go.
As well. I know. I've got
so
a couple of
the profit has gone up, yep.
So the $90 million fine, it works out to be about 5% of their annual profit just for 1 year. So is, like the judge said, is this enough of an actual deterrent to the employers?
Now, far be it from a regular punter like me and you to question the honourable judges that are in our judging system.
Yep.
But I have it in some sources that I'm looking at. The share price went up when this was announced.
Now, I want to see his. It's the whole Nancy Pelosi all over again, isn't it?
The US senator or representative who trades stocks whilst serving in the US government, making millions.
There's Reddit groups that have like notifications of when Pelosi buys stocks, and everyone buys stocks. They copy it.
Copy her
trades. Funnily
trades.
enough, they all get rich.
Smart move. So if the stock market and everyone buying stocks look at that fine and go, "Oh, good deal."
Yeah.
I wonder if Qantas is walking away going, "Good deal," because some people indicate that Qantas may have made like a saving of about $80 million a year from outsourcing that. So $80 million a year over 5 years. Like I'm ballparking it, and please fact checks, welcome citations necessary. But if we're going to be a little ungrateful at the moment, it's going to seem as if Qantas got the better end of this deal. And if I was a Qantas executive, I'd be thinking, do it again.
It's not a deterrent at all.
We made mad bank because you know what would be a great deterrent?
What?
Lock him up.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You put him in prison for like 5 nights.
Yep.
I guarantee that's enough nights to make him not do it.
Well, if it's in a real prison, yeah. Yeah. If it's one of these like white collar prisons, they're probably having a great time.
One of these ankle monitors at a 5-star resort.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of those. But no, Punter James, be pepped. Be pepped because that's 120 million that the workers wouldn't have gotten and 90 million that we taxpayers wouldn't have gotten.
Yes.
If not for a tiny sweet bit of justice.
Even if it's 5 years later, happy that those people are getting some money.
I'll take it. Yeah, that's the show, punters. Remember, videos drop on Instagram and YouTube all week, so if you miss us, just head over there. We're on Facebook for the boomers, X for the Elon fanboys, LinkedIn for the corporate bros. For those punters who want to bypass the gods of the algorithm, you can sign up for our newsletter, punterspolitics.com, deliver it into your inbox every week. And massive thanks to the punters who help us rig the algorithm each week with these videos, who share them, because honestly, no one would see the videos we put out, the content we put out. They only see it because you punters share them.
Any messages, send them through to oypunter@punterspolitics.com. Power to the punts.
Power to the punts.